Let's talk about the past 9 months, okay? I'm not gonna waste your time, mama. If you're new here, my name is Kapua. I'm a mother of one. My 9-month-old baby Havila, married to my husband Kelly, and I'm a stay-at-home blogger mom. So I'm gonna be putting on a little bit of makeup as we kuka. Talk about first about this whole sleep situation. Okay, there's all types of different stuff. Sleep training. I personally I don't like the word training. It sounds very clinical. I call it now sleep discipline. I was trying to get her into that ending of 7 month into the 8 month. It just wasn't working. 90% because of me. Different things going on. Her sleep cycle changes from when they're newborn and so on and so forth. And I just wasn't catching on. This is just an encouragement to you, mama, to catch on as quickly as you can and pray through this stuff, because it doesn't help that I was trying to do all of this on my own, because I am at home with her all the time. If there's anybody that knows her the best, it is me. The 8th month, it was rough. I think I said this before, but I preferred her newborn stage rather than this 8 month, which is crazy to say. Like, I felt like that was a walk in the park compared to this 8 month mark. Just trying to introduce this sleep training method. I think the concept works. The way that I was executing the concept wasn't working. But I want to say that she was well during her 4, 5, 6, even 7 month, because she was still kind of, you could put her anywhere and she would fall asleep. 8 month, oh my gosh. I mean, it's making me sweat just talking about it. I mean, even if it was just 2 weeks ago or a week ago that she was 8 months. Just starting now in 9 months, it's such a difference. But because I believe it was on my part, my mind changed. So basically, where we have her now is on this futon, and I've showed it in my Instagram stories before. We have it right on the side of our bed because we don't have material right now to start baby's room. The problem is I'm trying to get her to sleep there. Okay, that's where I want her independent sleep to be, because I don't have a crib. So essentially that futon is her crib. Problem number one, that futon is uncomfortable. Okay, I don't care who you are. It's hard. The material is uncomfortable. The material is just kind of scratchy and it's just not soft. You kind of think, oh, it's a comforter, it's there. It's not like hard floor. But for a baby, I mean, it's like, being used to being in your arms all day and then go to like a hard material. Even I wouldn't like that. I don't even like to sleep on it. That's another thing. If you aren't comfortable, baby's not going to be comfortable. Unfortunately, I didn't get that till the end of the stretch of the 8 month mark. But the problem was, because the futon was lower than our bed, when she would get up, it would be difficult for her to see past the futon. Because my theory was trying to put her down, let her self-soothe herself, and then slowly back away. So she kind of gets like, okay, mom is not going to hold me anymore to go to sleep. So I kind of have to learn how to do this independently and self-soothe. But the problem is, the futon is lower and the mattress it's higher, right? And I would sit behind the mattress or on the other side. From the moment that I put her down and sit down, she already thinks that I'm out of the room, that I'm gone. So in her mind, she's thinking, oh my God, why would I want to sleep? My mom's leaving me, because she can't see me on the other side of the bed, even if it's just inches away. I didn't get that until maybe like yesterday. And I realized, okay, no, this girl needs to see her mama backing away slowly. It didn't work cold turkey for her that way, to just be, okay, dumped and then left alone. Havila could not see me after I put her down because I would immediately sit away from her to where she couldn't see me. What I learned was I put her on our bed now and sit right there on the edge of the bed, like away from the bed. So she knows that, hey, I know I'm learning now. Mama's not going to be holding me to sleep anymore. I'm not going to be fed to sleep. I'm going to learn to independently be here. But I know that my mom is still here because I can see her. She's just further away. Eventually, I'm going to move further and further and further away until I'm out the door to where she can independently put herself and self-soothe herself to sleep.
Hi guys, just cutting in really quickly with this sketchy voiceover thing to show you Havila's nap time routine. So we start off with a book, and for nap time she's on our bed. For bedtime, so she's on her futon. Don't worry about her rolling off. Okay, we have a monitor on her and she pretty much knows where the edge of the bed is. So that's great. And see how I'm sitting far away from her? I try not to make eye contact with her at all, because even that, I think, makes her think that I want to play with her, which I don't. I want her to sleep. And she's fighting it herself. She's not crying, she is whining, but she's fed, her diaper is changed, and she's slowly winding down. She's just trying to find her, her comfort position, I guess you could say. And this is the part that really, really, I'm so proud, because she turns and looks for her wubba, which she doesn't even use for the passy. She just uses it for the doll. And then she puts her thumb in her mouth and starts to soothe herself to sleep. And this is, I don't know, I'm just so proud of this. I'm just such a proud mom. And you notice how she gets up a few times, making sure that I'm still there, which I still clearly am. And she's down, and she slept for 2 hours here. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of this and how far we've come.
I wasn't doing that the whole 8th month. I was just trying to get her to do it independently right off the bat. It didn't work for my baby. Honestly, I don't even think it would work for any baby, because my mind was just not in a place where I was confidently helping her sleep on her own, because I was insecure, because I was like, okay, I gotta film, I got this, I got dishes to put away, I got a house to clean, da 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 da. And I was already gone, and I would let her scream her head off, not for very long, for a few minutes, and I just wasn't getting it, and neither was she. I was getting flustered and frustrated, and babies will only mirror and echo what comes off of us. What you feel, they feel. Understand that it starts here. Okay, it really starts here. And honestly, I feel like it's put a huge weight on my marriage, trying to figure all of this stuff out. But that's what it is, right? That is how it is. And every baby will be different. And it's always just reassessing. Today was awesome. Even yesterday was just awesome. Her nap times for the past 48 hours, I am praising my Lord and Savior for, honey, because when you go from a whole month of not even being able to stay asleep for a half an hour, oh my God, it's a struggle. When she sleeps for 2 hours, chef's kiss, man. But the success that we've been having right now for the past 48 hours has been awesome, because I'm pretty confident in the schedule that I'm starting her on now, which is allowing her to sleep on our bed, because eventually she will have her own bed in her own room when we plan out her Montessori bedroom. So last night was the first night, okay? I put her down, we bathed, we're on the bed, all the lights are off, her night light is on, her Hatch is singing to her, singing to us. She is already fed, and so we're kind of winding down, right? I don't allow her to be fed to sleep anymore. And if she is kind of like dozing off after she drinks and she's kind of like knocking out, I'll sit her up gently and like burp her, and I'll lay her down and I'll pick her back up again to, kind of reawake her, so she's not being ma'd to falling asleep on the bottle. Success so far with that. She does kind of get like a little rowdy, because she thinks, oh, okay, I can be up right now. Even if it means staying up a whole nother hour after her scheduled bedtime. And that's what happened last night. And after all of that is done, I will lay her on the bed, I'll give her her passy and her blankie, and then I will move away from the bed, off of the bed completely, and sit next to the wall and just watch her. I won't say anything. I won't even look at her. Like, I will just be there. She just sits there, kind of like, what's going on? Why are you so far away? What happened is last night she crawled toward the end of the bed, and she kind of went for one more step, but she noticed that there wasn't anything there, because that was the edge. And so she kind of was like, oh, how do I get to you? And I'm just like maybe a foot away. I actually let her fall the first time. It wasn't a hard fall, and the bed's not that high, and we do have a plush carpet. I let her fall to experience that, but I quickly picked her up, I soothed her, she cried for like 2 seconds, put her back on the bed, laid her down, gave her her binky and her blankie, and she got back up again. She is laughing, and she thought it was a game, but that's all I do. I just sit there next to the wall and I just let her see me, and in the meantime she's rolling around the bed. And that was an hour, okay? After maybe like half an hour, she's kind of getting itchy. She's like, okay, I kind of really want you here with me, Mom, but you're still sitting there. And she's getting sleepy and she's ready to knock out, but she wants me. And so she does it again. She comes closer to the bed, and she was doing that throughout that hour, and then she would back away, roll away, and go to the other side of the bed and see if she could do the same thing. So she backed away. So she was kind of getting the understanding, like, okay, if I do this, I'm gonna fall. So we gotta think of something else. she started to whine. She didn't cry, she was whining. She's just sitting there, she had her blanket in her hand and her thumb, and she's just looking at me with those big, beautiful brown eyes. I would open my eyes and be looking at her, and she's staring right back at me, right into my soul, and I couldn't help but crack a smile. And when I cracked the smile, she ran towards me, but then stopped herself as soon as she felt that she couldn't feel another, she couldn't go another step. She did it one more time. She came to the edge and she was about to go for it, and she went and she just about to hit the floor, and I caught her and she started laughing again, and I put her down. I said, "Hia moi." I told her, "Hepa hia moi keia." It's time to sleep, time to rest. She lay down and still kind of restless. She threw her body over. It was at her own pace. She was doing it the way that she could slowly learn to do this sleep thing on her own. And then finally she couldn't take it, and she came right to the edge of the bed, and she just looked at me and she started whining, crying sort of, but whining really loudly until finally she just looked at me, and she was sitting up, and then she finally just like tilted over, was looking at me though, and she started to close her eyes and she fell asleep. She fell asleep on her own, but at the very edge of the bed, facing me, right directly in front of where I was sitting. A miracle, a miracle. I couldn't believe it. And it was after like 9:40 at night already. And my husband had come up a couple times. He's like, "You want to trade? You want to trade?" And I said, "No, I got to do this thing. I got to start this routine so that I can teach you how to do it. And that way we can get on the same page." And it was a success. But it did mean that I had to sit there a whole hour and 10 minutes after she was supposed to have gone to sleep. So just letting you know that that's the kind of stuff you're going to have to prepare yourself for if you want to really be serious about, helping your baby be independent like this. Because they can. And on another note, I've been buying her like woven ups. I have one for up here. I have one for her bag. I have one for downstairs. She doesn't even use them anymore. I like wasted money, sort of. She will have it in her mouth for a second. She'll rip it out, and then she'll put her thumb in, and then she'll be squeezing onto the dog. Woven ups, but that's great because she doesn't need a passy. So that's like a thumbs up. That's pretty much where we are with her sleep. And maybe this video will just be about the sleep, because that has been the biggest struggle these past 9 months. And that kind of made everything else very difficult to go through. I was going to talk about a few other things. Okay, I'm able to keep my camera plugged in and charging while I'm filming, so I don't have to talk as fast, and I can apply a little bit of makeup. I apologize for kind of speeding through that first part, because I'm just trying to do all of this really quickly, really fast, because mama life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the sleep schedule was the one that I wanted to get through the most. I'm happy that I can help her, and that I'm at a point where I'm just letting her be and letting her grow and letting her develop and be on her schedule and not her being on mine. What else? What else? Oh, feeding. And then they have this whole thing called baby-led weaning. I had never heard of that until maybe a couple months ago. And that also made me very insecure, because I thought, okay, like it can start as early as 6 months. 6 months is an appropriate time for, purees. She is actually still getting very accustomed to a lot of different textures. She's 9 months now, but honestly, aside from maybe poi, broccoli, she loves pasta. Not much else. The problem is social media, okay? And all of these moms who are at all, we're all at different levels with our kids. But when you see something on social media, I don't know, for me, I want what I see, and I want, the best for my kid, of course. So when you see these moms baby-led weaning their kid at 6 months, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my baby should be able to do that. Or, I'm not gonna keep her from trying. No, it didn't work out that way. Again, battlefield of mine, right? I'm thinking I want my kid to be able to try all of these different textures, and then there's like the 100 foods before they're one. Girl, get out of there, okay? Get out of that mindset, thinking that your baby has to be that way or try this. If you have the means to, great, go for it. I support you 100%. But if you cannot, do not feel like you have to be there, okay? Cut it off. Just cut it off. Unfollow them for a time if you have to. Renew your mind, shift it around. And then on top of that whole time, because my baby's not able to baby-led wean and feed herself, I'm thinking she's not gaining weight. And I'm thinking I'm failing as a mom. When we go to her 8-month checkup, her 9-month checkup, and guess what? She's 22 pounds. And she's in the 90% percentile for her age. So this is your reminder to get out of your head. and stop. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that KVD foundation, and I'm actually gonna use that as concealer. I'm not gonna put it all over my face. I hope what I share helps you. If you're expecting, if you are one now, if you're a mama of older kids already, you already know, okay? And you can tell me in the comments how, yeah, you should be used to it, you get used to it, and be ready, because there's much more to come. I get that. I love where you're coming from, honey. I can almost guarantee you that that's kind of not what we want to hear. And nothing really can prepare you for the stuff that's gonna come for you individually with your individual child. Rather than let me know that there's worse things coming, encourage me now in what I'm in and what I'm going through, or what mamas are going through, rather than be like, okay, warning, it's only gonna get worse from here. No. Encourage one another and lift each other up, okay? Encourage me, pray for me, let me know that this is what helped you. Not like, oh, okay, well, just letting you know, wait till the teenage years come around. Okay, and how can you help me? What can you do for me? Or what can I do for you? Or let me in on something that you learned. Don't be sitting back there and telling me like, oh, it's gonna get worse from here, honey. It's all down here from here. What worked for you? What didn't work for you? That's what I wanna hear. Anyway, that's just me. Oh, so another thing for baby, you know, I had her during COVID. Like I had her during the prime of COVID. I wasn't really concerned with, you know, taking her out. Okay, like I just wasn't. Even with COVID going on, I was done with the masks from the get-go. You know, I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at. I wasn't very concerned with taking her out. And so we were going out. You know, we were going to, I mean, not going out, you know, going to Target, going to Costco, you know, shopping. It was really hard for me to catch on to her schedule. I was very intimidated to take her out because I was like, oh my gosh, what if she gets a doodle diaper in Target? Like, what am I gonna do? That kind of stuff. That's why I was hesitant about taking her. Not because of COVID. No offense, okay? No offense. Even when because I was breastfeeding, I'm like, what am I gonna do then? You know, whipple my boob in the middle of the store? I'm about the conservative life, okay? I'm just not about letting the boob hang out. I mean, if I have to, I have to. But if I have the choice to, you know, cover myself, then I will. You do with that information what you will, okay? Everybody's just like, you know, do what you gotta do. It should be right for a woman to breastfeed her baby wherever. Okay, I don't want your husband stumbling off, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're human, honey, okay? So yeah, that's about it. I really just wanted to testify on her sleep right now, because when you go through a whole 30 days of struggle, even now she still doesn't sleep through the night. She wakes up, she went to sleep at 10 or 9:30 last night. She got up at 3, cried. She's good with falling back asleep on her own, unless she wants to get up and play. Then, you know, she'll be tumbling around all over the place for a little bit. But then she'll go back to sleep on her futon. You know, I do put her to sleep on our bed now since April started. And then when she's knocked out, then we'll put her on the futon next to us. But then when she gets up, you know, even if it's at 3 in the morning, we're right there. So the big game changer will be when we put her in her own room. But I think she'll be a bit older when that does happen. And I'm thinking to start it when she turns 1. That'll be exciting when that does finally come around. See, look at this. I can show you guys because you're here. That's my girl sleeping on her back. Hey. Since we're here, I'll let you in on 2 things: the baby monitor that we use and the sleeping app that I use, I guess. So the baby monitor I use is this one here. It's called Baby Monitor. It's a blue icon with a teddy bear on the front. So it opens up and it has the baby unit and the parent unit. So for this baby monitor, you're going to need 2 phones. You're going to have one there and then your own. So for the phone that you're going to have in the room, select baby unit. For the one that you're going to have, the phone that you're going to have, select parent unit. It connects over Bluetooth, so you're going to have to make sure you have pretty good connection. It will cut off from time to time if you walk around the house, and then that means you might have to exit out the units on the baby side and kind of restart it. And for the sleep schedule app that I use, it's called Huckleberry, and it will log everything: sleep, feeding, diaper pumping, medicine, growth, temperature. You have more options to customize. As you can see now, it's running the time because she is napping. Okay, so she got up, but she was crying, so that's not usually a good sign, but she's happy now. She was crying looking for me, so it's okay. She did sleep for 2 hours. Yeah, so I use the app for sleep, feeding, and diaper. I probably don't need to use it for diapers anymore. Feedings, I gotta look at it because I haven't looked at like the total amount of milk that she drinks, and then her sleep, of course. When you break down either 1 nap a day or 2 naps a day, it will literally tell you when their bedtime should be or when their next nap should be. Her age bracket, the wake time should be, I think, 3.5 hours or 2 to 3 hours, and she pretty much follows that to the T. It's working out really well. I don't want to, you know, count my chickens before they hatch, count my eggs before they hatch. I think I'm just gonna put mascara on since a little Missy decided to join us. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be right back to close out the video, because that's pretty much all I have to share, guys. I hope it wasn't too much. I apologize for kind of speeding through. Okay, so let me go put that mascara on, and I will be right back. Okay, we have to finish on iPhone because my camera just died. Thanks, guys, for watching. Ease up on yourself, okay? Try to plan as much as you can, but be ready for all of that plans to go down the drain. But, you know, it's nice to just have some type of template of what you want to do as far as their sleep and their feeding. I hope this encourages you. I hope it gives you hope to take it easy and to love your babies, man. Love them. Pick out the bones with what you learn and what you teach yourself and what you research. One size does not fit all with these kids, man. It just doesn't work that way. If it did, it'd be too easy. Be confident in what you want to do. It's unfortunate because I cannot say that try to get it, you know, as soon as you can, because hello, it took a whole month for me to realize what I was doing was stupid. I mean, it was kind of working, but again, it was based off of my schedule, not her schedule. Right now, for this age, it's us being on their schedule, not them being on ours. You know, and I even think during the newborn stage or the earlier stages, you know, they can kind of be on ours. As they get this age, like older, the tables turn. And that's okay. If you have any questions, anything at all, just leave it down in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave, and click the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I upload. I love y'all, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah.